Silver has been effectively used for centuries because of its natural antibacterial properties. Today, it's used in thousands of consumer products, including medical products, fabrics, and supplements. Because silver has the highest electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity, and reflectivity of any metal, it is very effective as a colloid, silver suspended in water. Common colloidal or ionic silvers contain positively charged silver ions that have the ability to steal an electron from the bacteria's cell membrane. If enough electrons are stripped, the cell membrane ruptures and the bacteria can no longer function. Although ionic silver is useful, this one-to-one electron exchange requires multiple applications or a high concentration of silver to achieve the effectiveness needed. Conversely, SilverSol's unique nano-silver particle has a patented silver oxide coating, Ag4O4, that can steal thousands of electrons per particle, resulting in a continuous or catalytic action. In addition, we supercharge the nanoparticle with the same frequency as ultraviolet light, 890 to 910 terahertz. Although this UV light frequency is harmless to human tissue, it is highly destructive to bacteria, fungus, and yeast, and doesn't require direct physical contact in order to be effective. This powerful combination of silver oxide coating and resonant UV frequency multiplies the effectivity exponentially. In fact, SilverSol at a concentration of 10 ppm is up to 3 times more effective than traditional colloidal, silver hydrosols, or ionic silver products containing up to 3,000 ppm. Best of all, SilverSol is backed by 420 independent third-party studies, including 32 safety studies and 5 human ingestion studies. Unlike other silver products, SilverSol won't harm probiotics, isn't metabolized in the body, and is safely excreted with no residual buildup. This means SilverSol products can be safely used every day without the drawbacks of traditional silver colloids, hydrosols, and ionic silver products. Make SilverSol your natural, safe, and effective solution.
Thank you for joining us at Remedy This Naturally, being able to give you information and knowledge that will help give us a better quality of life and do it with a natural approach. What's going on with us in the society that we live in today? One, we're tired, we're sick, and overweight. Could that kind of describe how we feel? I mean, let me talk to you about a specific individual situation, and you may be able to identify with it as I read the story about Teresa Smith. And what we're dealing with Teresa here, basically the title of the article I'm sharing with you is called Running on Empty. You know, there was nothing wrong with Teresa's life. Well, nothing unusually wrong. Sure, at the age of 40, she was 60 pounds heavier than her wedding day and still adding almost a pound per month despite eating smaller and smaller portions. But a lot of people gain weight as they age. That's what Teresa thought. And that's what most people say. You know, I gain weight because I'm putting on birthdays. Teresa often felt nausea instead of hunger. I'd eat, she says, but then I'd finish, the nausea would return, something else worse. And she developed a hard knot in the core of her stomach, probably stress, she thought. And she was tired, bone tired, all the time. Even basic household chores left her exhausted. She'd start a load of laundry, then take a rest on the couch, just to gather enough energy so she could get the clothes back out of the dryer. Well, first she had to put them in the dryer. She didn't sleep well and often had headaches. So, of course, I felt tired, she assumed. But that wasn't all. Teresa felt bloated, cranky, constipated most days. Even when her period wasn't intimate, then what she did with her period did arrive, Teresa often had to take 12 ibuprofen capsules to be able to survive the first day. She had visited doctors and everything checked out. Normal, average, expected. I told myself this was normal. Just part of getting older. Teresa says, but when she looked in the mirror, she didn't feel normal. She felt old. My skin was flat, my eyes were dull, my hair was brittle and gray. Worse then, her outward appearance, Teresa says, I had lost my spark. Quick to irritation, short on patience, and often unable to concentrate. Teresa was frustrated, but a little resigned with her situation. After all, she thought, nothing really wrong. I'm perfectly normal, especially given this crazy life. And she did lead a crazy life. As a software trainee, she managed a hectic schedule, just plenty of stress. She traveled frequently and was in and out of airports. At home, family life, church communications kept her on the go. She had little time to exercise, less for rest, and meals were always a hassle. Teresa says, I was doing my best with nutrition. I tried to grab an apple in the afternoon or tried to remember to take a multivitamin now and then. But it didn't make any difference. Teresa admits it now. She was overcommitted, overweight, but undernourished. Perfectly normal for her days, average, busy person, right? No, wrong. If you felt like Teresa, I must tell you this is unacceptable. It isn't right, normal, or expected for you to live this way. You can change it. Actually, you must change it. You can live longer, healthier, and so much more happy. Don't settle for anything less. Teresa Smith didn't know what I'm going to tell you in this book. And as a result, she left a lot of joy and productivity in life just sitting on the table. And as bad as Teresa's situation was, it was about to get worse. Now, how bad is it? Teresa Smith is a real woman. Her story is very personal. So why does it sound so familiar to so many of us? What's going on? What about this title that we have running on empty, nutritional deficiency disease and the standard American diet? Because the standard American diet is out of control and it's making millions of us sick. We're eating over-processed foods and are loaded with calories, yet starved for nutrition. We're getting fat, tired, and ill, and yet few people understand why. Most never make the connection between sickness and diet. Let me give you an idea. Let me give you the dirt, the nitty-gritty on our favorite vegetables. What are our favorite vegetables? Think about it for a moment. Okay? Let's say potatoes. If you consume per person per year, the potatoes average about 140 pounds. You know, that's in French fries, whatever it may be, but we're eating a potato that are carb charged, which means our body quickly converts them to sugar. Plus, we tend to dress potatoes up in fancy sauces or salty toppings. Did you know that the 140 pounds of potatoes the average American eats annually, 51 pounds are in French fries? Okay? 51 pounds are in French fries. Well, how about tomatoes? 25 pounds per year. Rich in antioxidants and vitamins, tomatoes are usually a great choice. Sadly, 80% of the tomatoes we eat they've been highly processed as ketchup or pasta sauce, which can be laden with salt and sugar. So that's the number 2 vegetable. The number 3 vegetable is lettuce, 92 pounds of it. Iceberg lettuce is a staple in salad bowls across the country, but it's pale in nutritional value next to the colorful neighbor spinach, romaine, and kale. So romaine, kale, spinach, a lot better than iceberg. Add we throw in a dollop of high-fat dressing to our iceberg, and you'll really sink the benefit. Think you eat healthy because you're eating these vegetables? Think again. Our most popular vegetable choices are among the least nutritional. Okay? We eat what's available in restaurants, grocery stores, and frankly, the cheapest ingredients for food manufacturers to use are often the least nutritious. Food labels are either confusing or just don't paint an accurate picture of what nutrition our body needs. Portion size continue to grow. Don't we all love to supersize it? That sugary soda or fat-laden fries? Clearly, our greatest nutritional deficiency is education, because we can get healthier. In order for us to get healthier, we must get smarter. If you, like the story I read about Teresa Smith, and you struggle with litany of seemingly disconnected health problems and consider yourself lucky, you're going to learn the untold truth and find that there is hope, simple, nutritional, natural solutions without drugs, surgery, deprivation, or misery. Nature can heal you following its own perfect plan. Victor Hugo, quote him, "A healthy body is a chamber for the soul. A sick body is a prison." What are you living in? healthiness, vitality, or is your body living in a prison? So why are you lucky if you grapple with nutritional related health problems? Because there are millions out there who don't feel sick. Yet, they don't know they can and should be taking charge to improve our diet and save our lives. There are millions who have no idea they totter on the verge of prediabetes, or their cholesterol is dangerously risky. They think that the small aches and pains they have now are just normal, or due to an aging or stress. These people may be your spouse, or your parents, your best friend, maybe you. Don't be alarmed. How bad is it? Let's talk about what's going on and what can be some of the difficulty in keeping us alive, healthy, and happy. In the United States, 300,000 people die every year of obesity-related diseases or issues. Okay? And these numbers are about 10 years old. Heart disease is the leading killer in the United States, projected to claim nearly 500,000 lives this year. Okay, what else happened? We spent more than $208 billion in 2001 on prescription drugs, nearly double that we spent in 1966. Many of these drugs are designed to reduce cholesterol, lower blood sugar levels, alleviate depression, and treat diabetes. All treatments after a problem manifests itself. But medicine provides very few measures to prevent these ailments that our poor diets may cause or spur on. An estimated 40% of cancers are related to poor diet and lack of exercise. And the New England Journal of Medicine estimates that 80% of cancer have some environmental toxin influence. The statistics, folks. 80% of cancer have some environmental toxin influence. People with diabetes are more than twice as likely to die prematurely as those without the disease. Currently, more than 5.2 million people don't even know they have diabetes, and their current diet could be killing them. We got to be empowered. We got to roll on and get rid of this stuff that's not treating us good. If what the unknown truth will do for us, and I'm going to talk to you about that and the different things that are about this and the lies that we're being told. And the number one is inflammation is our worst nightmare, and you may not even know what it is or why it happens. Okay, that's the first thing, untold truth. Second untold truth, our watchdogs are failing us. In other words, we've got the USDA, we've got all these here different organizations supposed to make sure that what you eat, a major reason you're getting fatter and sicker, we're relying on external watchdogs for our health information. For example, the U.S. recommended daily allowance for vitamins and minerals are low. The U.S. recommended daily allowance were designed to help starve off the worst type of disease, and that was scurvy and beriberi. But they certainly don't help you achieve optimal health. Fighting common maladies like depression, insomnia, fatigue, or other immunity is growing worse. And so it's an untold truth. We're not being told the truth by the people that's supposed to make sure that we're getting the good food. Untold truth number 3. We live in a toxic society, folks. You really can't usually touch anything without some dire, dangerous process of what's going on. Untold truth number 4. A rescue effort is the wrong approach. We are treating after the fact, not treating with prevention, but after it's the fact. Then we get high diabetes, we get a medicine to try to control it. How about if we do something, as we preach and teach at Remedy This Naturally, is work for prevention. Prevent these diseases, prevent these wrongs that are going on in our life and our health and well-being. So that's number 4. So, untold truth. These are untold truths we're dealing with. Let's talk a little bit more. Designed to teach you the real causes behind serious but often treatable or preventable health problems, and then show you recommended natural remedies you can do and put into place to dramatically improve your quality of life. Let me go back. Let me throw back to years ago when who currently is my 50-year-old son, back when he was 6, 7, 8, issues going on. Even before that, after being a young whippersnapper and born into this life. And then if there was a problem where there was a runny nose, or if there was a fever or something went wrong, we'd go to the pediatrician. What would the pediatrician do? Prescribe for us amoxicillin, poxicillin, some type of thing to help stifle what's going on. Not heal the body, but to maintain what's going on. And so with that in mind, it kept getting worse and worse. And thank God there was an osteopathic doctor, Cal Streeter, beautiful guy, who taught nutritional healing, natural ways to overcome death, sickness. And he gave to the people that came to him supplementation that would help the body deal with the depravity of what was there. In other words, the body had been deprived of these things, wasn't in the diet. We were eating those things I talked to you about a minute ago, about the potatoes, the lettuce, tomatoes, things that had been processed, things that were not fresh, not coming from a garden. So, what happened? After going to Dr. Streeter, he said, your son is dying from the inside out. I said, excuse me? I don't understand what you're talking about. He said, malnutrition. Basically, he's not getting the right diet. He's not getting the nutrition that's needed. Okay, give you an example. Vitamin D, vitamin D3. You take it because it helps build your immune system. And you need it if you're not getting the sunshine. Your body will make it. Your body wants to stay healthy. Your body wants to stay well. Your body wants what it can do to be able to have the quality of life that we need. And we got to put it in. And we got to quit being exposed to the chemicals, the toxins, and the poisons, and the things that cause us not to have energy and fighting vitality. You know, the thing I'm talking to you about now, the nutritional thing I'm talking to you about now, is designed to teach you the real causes behind serious but often treatable or preventable health problems, and then show you remarkable natural remedies you can put into practice to dramatically improve your quality of health. You know, one of the things, running on empty, the thing I said to you a minute ago, nutritional deficiency disease, and the standard American diet, you'll understand the health crisis we perhaps, even you and I, face. Because of our substandard diet and the pearls and the poisons of the modern world, we must understand now, everyday life is robbing you of your health. Living, breathing, being evolved, the things we eat. Yes, more and more organic we need, without the chemicals, the toxins, and the poisons that break down our system and cause us to end up with something that robs us of our energy. You know, we're going to talk about 4 important untold truths about nutrition, including information that the medical profession, food manufacturers, and even the government don't know or haven't even shared with the public. That's powerful. When you've learned practical solutions based on proven medical science and my own personal experience that I have overcome, just like I told you that little story about my son that's 50 now. I mean, we'll talk about nutrition, optometric physician, researchers, and patient. There are 7 pillars of prevention based on the essential nutrients our body must have to live. In short, what I'm sharing with you will help you make smarter food choices, live better and longer with fewer health complaints, and discover how natural supplements can transform your outlook. If you don't follow these basic programs, you'll miss out on the optimal health you richly deserve. I mean, go back, think about it. What was in the Garden of Eden? What did God have for us, His creation, for us to eat, to drink? The waters of living life for us. And we've gotten to the point. We've tried to do things that are convenient, that may not have the nourishment. And Teresa Smith, who I shared with you in the beginning of this program, she found the course that would change her life. And guess what? You can too. You know, inflammation is your worst health nightmare. you may not even know what it is or why it happens. Inflame causes pain. You know, the proof is conclusive. Chronic inflammation is the culprit behind a litany of health diseases, issues, and from diabetes to heart disease. In fact, we now know that inflammation is a key to why we age. Surely, we are all going to get older, hopefully, if we don't die before from some disease. You know that inflammation that causes us to age, deteriorating our health, vitality, and mental acuity until we die. It's not. I want to do and see. We ran off the Cherokee. We ran off the American Indian that had cures. They had a medicine man that they could check in nature. Echinacea, golden seal. Things that were there that would help nutrition for ourselves. In fact, we now know that inflammation is key to the aging process. Surely, we're all going to get older, but it may be inflammation that causes us to age. One thing to get older, another thing to age, because that is deteriorating in health, vitality, mental acuity until we die. The conclusion is an easy one to draw. Control chronic inflammation, and you reduce disease risk, and you slow the aging process. You know, before I turn the page, I want to share this with you. Consider this excerpt from the June 2003 Life Extension magazine, and we do carry life extension products at Remedy This Naturally. In the U.S. today, the average 50-year-old woman survives to age 81. If we were to conquer the two leading causes of death, cancer and heart disease, it would only extend the woman's lifespan to 88. And these added years would be a time of declining health and vigor. If we were to slow aging, on the other hand, the woman would not only be less likely to die of cancer, heart disease, and other killers, but would also be healthier, more vigorous, and more youthful. She would live to a well over 100, with the prospect of a much longer, healthier lifespan. And that's a quote from Dr. Saul Kent, the director of Life Extension Foundation. We can do it, folks. We can make the change. We can be better for ourselves, our family. Inflammation. What is inflammation? Plain and simple, inflammation is swelling. It's your body's way of fighting infection or trying to heal from a wound or illness. And when temporarily it's natural and normal. However, chronic inflammation caused by cytokines, that's the destructive cell-sending chemicals, is anything but normal. This type of inflammation builds and builds, triggering the DNA, and these markers you may already carry to develop diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and the list goes on. Think of chronic inflammation as the key that turns on our disease. This is turn on the disease gene. Look at the chart. I'm going to give you an idea. And below we see the connection between a host of terrifying disease and the cytokine, that's cytokine, induced inflammation. Diseases and mechanism. I'm going to lay this out for you. I'm going to belabor this point for a minute about the disease and the mechanism, how the two come together to cause us to have disease. Number one, disease, cancer. What is the mechanism? Chronic inflammation causes most cancers. Heart attack. Chronic inflammation contributes to coronary atherosclerosis. Alzheimer's disease. Chronic inflammation destroys brain cells. Congestive heart failure. Chronic inflammation causes heart muscle wasting. You getting the picture? Stroke. Chronic inflammation promotes thromboembolic events. Arthritis. Inflammation, cytokines destroy joint cartilage and synovial fluid. Arterial valve stenosis. Chronic inflammation damages the heart valves. Kidney failure. Inflammation, cytokines restrict circulation and damage nephrons. Lupus, SLE. Inflammation, cytokines induce an autoimmune attack. Asthma, inflammation, cytokines close the airways. Psoriasis, inflammation of cytokines induce dermatitis. Pancreatitis, inflammation, cytokines induce pancreatic cell injury. Disease and its cause is inflammation, and I'm pointing it out and I'm listing them because you and I are important when it comes to wanting to live a healthy, active life. Allergies, inflammation, cytokines induce autoimmune reactions. Fibrosis, inflammation, cytokines attack traumatic tissue. Surgical complications, inflammation, cytokines prevent healing. Anemia, inflammation, cytokines attack erythropoietic production. And fibromyalgia, inflammation, cytokines are elevated into fibromyalgia PATIN patients. And so, how does inflammation work to hurt you and me? How? You know, we just talked about some of the terrible conditions that chronic inflammation is responsible for. But how can inflammation, one of the body's natural defenses, be so harmful? What's going on? Inflammation starts in a response to a stimulus. That stimulus may be an injury, excuse me, an illness, or the untold truth will show you your food and lifestyle. Inflammation next can process in one or two ways. First is to the road to health, where the body receives the essential nutrients it needs to combat the stimulus and return to health. In this case, the inflammation is temporary. However, if the stimulus is repeated again and again, it is a chronic way of life when inflammation leads to pain, infection, and vulnerability of viruses and parasites. All elements that cause you more and more inflammation. This vicious circle ultimately breaks down organ function, weakens the heart muscle, causes the insulin resistance that leads to diabetes or triggers cancer. Alzheimer's disease, arthritis. Each person's body reacts uniquely to prolonged inflammation, and that's why it's taken so long to make the connection between these difficult diseases and common link of inflammation. So it's important to know that we can do something about it. I want to make sure we get to a stopping point here, because this is just the beginning of what we need to talk about when it comes in knowing that there is an answer that's positive. That is what we need, that now that we understand that a grave risk inflammation poses on our health, what can we do about it to stop it? Believe it or not, it all comes back to nutrition. It does. It's nutrition. What we eat, what we don't eat. Blood sugar, acidity in the body, oxidation in the body. These are things that regulate how we survive the challenges in this life. And our nutritional importance is there. Because we got about 15 minutes left, and you need to know what some of these things are that provide us with what is critical to us in helping us to survive. So I'm going to throw out the final answers, the 7 pillars of prevention. And so with that in mind, I'm not hitting, and I may jump back and forth a little bit here, but I told you the first problem, inflammation, is our worst nightmare, and you may not even know what it is or what happens. Okay, we talked about a little bit of that. Untold truth number 2, our watchdogs are not helping us to watch over us. They're just failing us. Untold number 3, you live in a toxic world. Number 4, a rescue effort to the wrong approach. And who we got over here? We all know something about the dangers of our modern lifestyle. Poor diet, intense stress, and a toxic environment. But few know the ironclad link that science is revealing between these risk factors and chronic disease. And what we're trying to reach out and share to you, essential and timely nutritional information and strategies everyone needs to know and implement to obtain optimal health. I believe in spite of the modern hazards, when we're in good health and habit, we can close the doorway to disease and keep that doorway locked so it can't come back in and cause the problems that we have to encounter. I'm going to hit on these, the 7 pillars of prevention, and In other words, I've told you the untold truth about nutrition so far, and all these untold truths have essential nutrients. The 7 pillars of prevention are the core. What fights inflammation, the leading cause of death and disease? Essential nutrition. What will overcome the half-truths and confusion perpetrated by our failing watchdogs? Understanding the essential nutrients. What will protect us from the toxins in our environment? Untold truth number 3, essential nutrients. And what will shift us from an insufficient rescue approach to a prevention plan? And that would be essential nutrition. That's what it is, folks. We got to get the information I'm sharing with you has to do with your life and your health and your well-being. That you can, just something as simple as the first pillow is water. Drink it up. Water. Water is the fluid of life, keeping organs and tissue hydrated, moving food through the digestive system, and working toxins out. If you drink less than 64 ounces or 8 average glasses per day, the biggest chance are you're dehydrated. What does a dehydrated person look and feel like? Start by looking in the mirror. I love it. Most dehydrated people don't even know they have the condition. Although they may be constipated, have poor digestion, or rough, dry skin, they may overeat, misinterpreting their body's water thirst for hunger. And no soda, we call them drinks here, coffee and other beverages don't count as water. Your favorite Diet Cola acts as a diuretic, pulling fluids out of your body. And a cup of coffee loaded with additives is an anti-nutrient, leaching essential nutrients from your organs rather than refreshing them. Let that sink in. Water. Your weight, basically, if you are between 100 and 150 pounds, 7 to 9 glasses of water per day. 150 to 200 pounds, 9 to 11 glasses of water per day. And these are 8-ounce glasses, okay? 200 to 250 pounds, 11 to 13 ounces. 250 to 300 pounds, 13 to 50. 13 to 15. Easiest way I know about how much water you take your body weight, divide it in half. You're 140 pounds, 70 ounces of water. If you're not drinking pure water to quench thirst, the fluids you are drinking may be worse than drinking nothing at all. You know, we even offer something at Remedy This Naturally is Kangen water that balances the pH in it and takes out the additives that are used to make it so we don't die from the water we drink. You know, get a water purifier. And remember, either you can filter your water or you can let your kidneys and liver do it. But a filter is much easier and less costly and painful to replace than your body or your kidneys. And folks, the kidney issues that are going on are highly susceptible to no water, soft drinks. I mean, I talk to people as I share with them about what in the world's going on and how we can make changes in a positive way, that if you're not, the water is what does the purification. Let me just put it on spiritual terms. Jesus is the water of life. He is the one that gives us the water we need for spiritual healing. And then they gave us the water in the physical assets so we can have physical healing. Water is purification. God is the water of life in the spiritual aspect that we need. And when we say we know better than God, we're just like Adam and Eve, and God lets us take and kill our own self without the help of that. You know, enzymes, very critical. Food enzymes are key to healthy digestion, restoring pH balance, and the vitamin mineral absorption. You know, no more flushings of supplements down the healthy toilet. Key benefits of enzymes are reduce metabolic acidity and oxidation caused by undigested food. It becomes putrid, rots in our gut. Optimize assimilation of essential nutrients. Reduce workload for the pancreas and the liver. Also, enzymes, what I'm talking about now, reduce acidity and help keep blood sugar stable. Consider the cooking reduce food enzymes, and that as you age, your body produces less pancreatic enzymes and hydrochloric acid, both needed to digest your food. This means that as you age, digestion meals will become more difficult, uncomfortable, and deliver few nutrients to the body. In fact, number one reason people head to the doctor or the emergency room is that they have digestive complaints. Some so severe that people may mistake their pain for a heart attack. You know, let me just read you 5 things that can point out that you are enzyme deficient. Number 1, do you just suffer from acid indigestion or heartburn regularly? Do you have food allergies? Does your food sit heavy in your stomach? Do you regularly have gas or bloating after meals? And are you often constipated? Those are reasons for you to take a food enzyme. We're going to continue with this on the next broadcast. This broadcast is on the 19th of September. And what we're doing, we're talking about running on empty. We brought out some critical information. I'm going to stop a couple minutes early because I want you to be able to see that thing on silver. Pay attention to this thing with silver, folks. It is critical to our life and our health. And whenever you're ready to run it, go right ahead, Lee. I appreciate your help in the studio. God bless you guys. You're special, and God wants you healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Silver has been effectively used for centuries because of its natural antibacterial properties. Today, it's used in thousands of consumer products, including medical products, fabrics, and supplements. Because silver has the highest electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity, and reflectivity of any metal, it is very effective as a colloid, silver suspended in water. Common colloidal or ionic silvers contain positively charged silver ions that have the ability to steal an electron from the bacteria's cell membrane. If enough electrons are stripped, the cell membrane ruptures and the bacteria can no longer function. Although ionic silver is useful, this one-to-one electron exchange requires multiple applications or a high concentration of silver to achieve the effectiveness needed. Conversely, SilverSol's unique nano-silver particle has a patented silver oxide coating, Ag4O4, that can steal thousands of electrons per particle, resulting in a continuous or catalytic action. In addition, we supercharge the nanoparticle with the same frequency as ultraviolet light, 890 to 910 terahertz. Although this UV light frequency is harmless to human tissue, it is highly destructive to bacteria, fungus, and yeast, and doesn't require direct physical contact in order to be effective. This powerful combination of silver oxide coating and resonant UV frequency multiplies the effectivity exponentially. In fact, SilverSol at a concentration of 10 ppm is up to 3 times more effective than traditional colloidal, silver hydrosols, or ionic silver products containing up to 3,000 ppm. Best of all, SilverSol is backed by 420 independent third-party studies, including 32 safety studies and 5 human ingestion studies. Unlike other silver products, SilverSol won't harm probiotics, isn't metabolized in the body, and is safely excreted with no residual buildup. This means SilverSol products can be safely used every day without the drawbacks of traditional silver colloids, hydrosols, and ionic silver products. Make SilverSol your natural, safe, and effective solution.